Traffic jam on 65 North here in Glendale. Apparently their truck caught on fire. Stopped to get fuel right before this happened. The joys of parking lot.
Driver, will my pre-pass working at toll booth? Well, it might, Tony. I got about 37 up on my windshield, and don't let it work on that damn bridge up here ahead of us. My windshield looks like one of them green paper with all them things stuck on it. Only left lane getting through there, northbound. Only left lane. So only the left lane you say.
Well, there we go. Radio just paid for itself. I know I need to get in the left lane as soon as I can. Anybody confirm the exact location of this said truck fire?
I'm on my 89 and I only said this for about 10 minutes and I'm going by right now, so it ain't worth going around. Northbound, mile marker 88, you got a truck fire, well, what's left of a truck fire, there's no fucking cab left on it, on the right hand side. Your right lane is closed. Now watch them damn idiots coming on down that right line and don't know no damn better. So they don't got no damn radio.
Well, for your information, I'm over here in the right lane kind of holding it back because I got my radio on.
Well, there's no one down through there wasn't holding nothing back. You just driving right on down through there like a smart ass.
I'm waiting for this Penske driver to get over.
Yeah, Penske ain't gonna get over. He's going on down to the dead end, then cut in.
Come on, guys. We got a whole shoulder there that's the size of a lane. Use it. We ain't got nothing better to do.
I'm just sitting here looking out the window.
Yeah, that was ugly. Oh, today has been a day. Nothing happened really, just late start, get caught, stop for fuel and get caught in an accident back up. had to do my 2-hour potty break with my little buddy. He's good for about 2 hours before he gets yippy and needs to go, so that usually works because I stop at a rest stop, just a pull in or a pull out. Yeah, not much going on today. Didn't get to do anything this last weekend because of the weather. So, no RC videos. But hopefully this week when I get home I'll go do something somewhere. Because I got Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday off. Taking some vacation time. I'm supposed to go on a trip with a girlfriend, and some stuff came up, and that's not going to work. Figured I'd go do something with my vacation time, or just kind of relax at home and not stress about having to get back out on the road. I do have to take the truck into Ryder. Let him get this side mirror replaced. Excuse me. Get this side mirror replaced. And then maybe the windshield, because I got a couple chips in it. People that won't let you over. Good Lord, people, come on. My blinker was on. We're all going the same damn place. You're gonna love those little four-wheeler cars that'll just sit right there just beyond your depth perception of gauging of distance with your trailer. Your blinker will be on forever and they won't do anything to let you know. It's been one of those days. I'm a little glad that I'm not going to Missouri, because we literally would have had to have left as soon as I got back into town. So that means I would have been in a car all weekend, basically. Because I would have gotten back to Lebanon from Memphis on Friday at about 3 o'clock, and then we'd literally be hopping in a car and heading right back to Memphis to drive through it and find some place to park for a couple hours to take a nap and then keep on going. I was not looking forward to that at all. Though Devin's been wanting to go up to the Bass Pro Shop in Memphis because it's the giant pyramid, and there's apparently a hotel in the Bass Pro Shop. It's got a log cabin theme. That would have been cool. Blinkers, people, come on, use your blinkers. Sorry, Unfiltered. patient. Said it once and I'll say it again. The speed limit is not a suggestion. Not a suggestion. Hopefully the air at my place gets fixed because it's been broken for a while, and this last week it was like 80 degrees in my apartment all weekend. It royally sucked. Like it finally started cooling off last night with the rain, but it was humid and cool, which isn't any better than being hot. Wheel Burners Live on Friday was fun. I shared that one in my community tab, so if you follow me and you don't know who they are, there you go. There's a good introduction to a channel that you'll see most of the people I talk about on. I was going to say, I think that blue truck's a race car truck, but then I saw the door and the lift gate set up, and like, that's not a race car trailer with that kind of door at the end. Metatronic Engineering Extraordinary. So it's probably like an office trailer. Like it's a computer center inside the trailer. Try to put some space between us, because if you've been any kind of driving, you know if too many semis get next to each other, we're basically rolling roadblocks. But yeah, I touched base with Wheel Burner about getting those scale trucks like I want to build. They seem to humor the ideal of what they were. But they were a little aghast by the prices, and they were like, good Lord, all that for $500? And then the trailers are just as much. I was like, yep. And then they try to explain to somebody the proportions of something. That's always fun when it comes to RCs. Because most scale semis are 1/14 scale, which coincides with a lot of what most construction equipment is. They're generally about 1/14 scale. Of course, the Lowe's guys are driving that damn box truck like it's a fucking pickup truck or a Miata. No lights on. Just hauling ass. is one thing I'd say I have to agree with. Them box truck drivers need to have some more training in their use of them damn things. Tanker truck's trying to go over. I'm guessing he's not going to Spiceland. If he was, he'd be staying in this lane, because we need exit 44B to go east on 70 to get there. I guess since we're touching on the topic of hobbies, it is extremely annoying how difficult and expensive, difficult to find and expensive the damn roof rack cross rail setup I need for my Outback, because it's got the low profile touring trim brackets. And I gotta have the special, specifically made belts for the low profile trim for my crossbars. $700 or so for four mounting brackets and the crossbars that go with them. That's not yet counting the supports or the front to back braces or supports. That's literally just for the clamps and the crossbars. For a 2018 Subaru Outback 3.6R Touring Edition. It's really nice. It's what is the color called? It's black silica. If I'm not mistaken, I think that's what it's called. Black silica crystal or gloss or whatever, with a nice chocolatey brown interior. It's the leather option, but I think it's more pleather than actual leather. Just from all the articles I've read. I need to get the rain guards for the windows. That's one of the main things I want to get. And I hate getting the ones that you've got to put on the outside of the window trim. So I always like the ones you just kind of put, you roll your window down some, you put it up in the notch, and then you roll your window up and it holds it in place. Well, those are $100 for a set for my car. That set's a 4. And then I want to get the one for the moonroof. It's cool enough this car's got a sunroof too. Now I'm rambling. 30 minutes till I'm parked. minutes and 30 miles. Ain't that about how it is most of the time? That is one cool thing about up here in Indiana. These rest stops on 70 are big. Or at least between Indianapolis and Ohio. Like, they're a couple hundred trucks big. Like, I think most of them are about 200 or so. I know I've seen those billboards say, like, 200 empty. Here comes the construction. Like, how do you miss a big neon sign that says trucks use left lane? And then the big flashy signs that say speed limit 55. You impatient, inconsiderate assholes. That's all they got. Can't slow down for construction. Like, if you're not gonna listen to any speed limits, at least listen to those. There are people that are usually out working in these areas, or they're just very rough to drive on, and if you have an accident, you're guaranteed to have some kind of pileup if you have any kind of blowout or lose control because of the roads or the conditions. It's like, seriously, just do the construction speed limit, people. Like, for the 4 or 5 minutes you're in it, quit being a steering wheel holder. I wasn't recording earlier, but I got in the truck and didn't realize it, but I had a headlight out because I moved my truck in my yard. When I first get loaded, I pull it out and get it to an area where I can walk all the way around it without any obstructions. And I usually do an initial walk around, and then, of course, at least one more time before I leave the yard, I gotta take a Nubis out. So I just go ahead and do another walk around the truck, and that's when I realized that I had a headlight out. Low beam, of course. And I was like, oh, shit. I was like, maybe I've got a spare on the thing, because I've had to replace a couple on the road, and sometimes at the truck stops, you can just buy them in sets. I ended up checking the side box, and sure enough, all of them were the blown ones. So I was like, alright, I guess I'm stopping by the Bowling Green Rider, which, if you have to deal with Ryder trucks, the Bowling Green Kentucky Ryder shop is really nice. They're really nice people. I lucked out and I just pulled up through the refueling lane and ran inside and hey, look, I just need a headlight bulb. That's all I need. Can you give it to me and me do it myself? Can someone just run out and change it real fast for me? Like, that's all I need. Because usually if I go in there for anything simple, like I'm like, hey, I need help checking my tires because of blah blah blah, or I know my tires look a little low and I don't have any way to fill them, and I swing in there to get them to fill them. Because you can do that with Ryder because they're supposed to maintain the trucks, and that's a preventative. Like, you'd be like, hey, does anybody care to like try to help me top off these tires? Because nine times out of 10, all the truck stops I go by, none of the air hoses have ends on them, if they work. And then it takes me an annoying amount of time to try to fill up my tires with my little glad hand thing. And then I got to stretch all that hose out, so it turns into like a 30-45 minute ordeal. Or if I just swing into a rider shop, and I usually only go to that one for checking the air, the tires. They can just run out with the little gaugey thing, and they go and 9 times out of 10 all my tires are good. And occasionally there's just one that needs filled, or just a couple pounds. Which, service announcement for y'all, everybody. You gotta add more air in the winter, and you just need to keep an eye on your tire pressure in the summer. Because when air is colder, it's less dense. When it's hotter, it's more dense. So if you had to add air in your tires at all during the winter, you might want to just check them during the summer to make sure they're not overinflated. Because not only do they have the air in them and the ambient temperature, when you drive on them, the tires get hot, and that heats up the tire air. So check your tire pressure, people. That'll affect your mileage, or your fuel mileage. Which, oddly enough, in this truck, I think the only reason I get this is because of how much idling I do. It's 7 miles to the gallon. But you gotta factor in, I don't have an APU on this truck, I don't have the smart idle, so I just have to let it idle. $446,068 miles. It was cool. The other day I looked down and it said 444, 444. Come on, turn your lights on, people. Like how are you that like moronic that you don't know to turn your damn lights on? Tonight because I left late, had to stop. I'm going to be rolling up at about 9:20. So that puts my reset at, I'll say 9:30. 9:30 is 12 hours. Subtract 2, so 7:30. So I'm going to have a little more, a little less than 12 hours between the time I get parked and the time I've got to be at my first appointment. That's not too bad. Well, I'll only be 30 minutes away, so as long as I can get up and be rolling and ready by like 8:30. You gotta do your pre-trip, you gotta drive there, you gotta get into the dock. It takes about 45 minutes to an hour to do all that because I gotta do my pre-trip. I start my pre-trip at about 8:30. And if it all goes to plan, it puts me getting there at about, or leaving at about 9-ish. And then 30-minute drive, so there you go. forgot my useless knowledge of the day. So, I'm going to lay two of them on you, so I may not do one tomorrow. But here's two for me. Do you know why sunsets are so pretty? Why you get so many colors? Why it does what it does? That it just makes colors you've never seen. Like, you've never seen two of the same sunsets. Even if you were at the same spot at the same time every night, you'll never see two of the same sunsets. Well, the reason sunsets are so pretty and colorful, it's pollution. Pollution in the atmosphere refracts the sunlight from the sun to make different shades or different wavelengths, which equals different colors. So, that pretty sunset wouldn't be there without pollution. So, there's that one for you. Since we're on the topic of lights in the sky, the Northern Lights, or better known as Aurora Borealis, seen mainly in the northern hemisphere in the region of Canada. Because the planet isn't straight up and down, it's at an angle. So that area above Canada, because the planet kind of, if you were to look at a planet, it angles back where Canada is the high side. But now it rotates and then, I guess parts of Russia might be in the same area with lights, but it's always Canada and Alaska that are known for their Aurora Borealis. So, Aurora Borealis is radio waves caught in the ionosphere, which is the upper atmosphere. So, Northern Lights are caused by radio frequencies caught in the upper atmosphere and then bouncing off each other. If I'm not mistaken, I know I'm right about the sunsets. I'll have to double check the Northern Lights. Yeah, there's a twofer for you, having to do with the sky and light.